Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started for the sake of time. Thank you so much for joining today's session for Franklin University, Switzerland, a brief introduction. Just to briefly introduce myself, my name is Jessica Silva, and I am one of the Assistant Directors of Admission for Franklin University, Switzerland, and I am currently based in San Diego, California, and I work with students in the Western United States, Western Canada, and Latin America. Today, we're going to be covering some general information regarding Franklin University, Switzerland, as well as the application process and cost of tuition as well. Before we jump into that information, I do want to share this very first slide here. We actually have a beautiful aerial view of the city of Lugano, and you can actually see part of our campus here. Right in the foreground, we have our Kalish campus building. In the background, you can see beautiful Lake Lugano, surrounded by the city of Lugano. I also want to take a moment to introduce our admission team with you as well. At the very top left-hand corner, you will see our Dean of Admissions and Enrollment Management, Lucia Perez Molo, as well as in the top two rows, you'll find our staff that is based in Switzerland. On the third row, you have our staff that is based here in the United States. We have Katie Carter based on the East Coast. We have Harry Herbert based in Central United States, and myself based in the West Coast. On the bottom row here, we have Samantha Snyder, our Associate Director of U.S. Operations. And then we also have Sigrun, our Director of Financial Aid as well, and she's based on the East Coast. Now, Franklin College was founded in 1969 as a traditional U.S. liberal arts institution. In 2013, we did receive official Swiss accreditation, and in 2014, we were officially renamed Franklin University, Switzerland. What that means for you is that once you graduate from Franklin, you're actually earning a degree that is both accredited in the United States as well as Switzerland. We are quite small, we're about 400 students total, but very diverse with about 57 different nationalities represented in that 400 student population. Our average class size is about 16 students with a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so lots of great one-on-one time with your professors during your class time. Now, in terms of our academics, we're highly focused in areas of humanities and social sciences. Our top majors for us tend to be in international management. That's going to be our business program on campus, as well as international banking and finance and international economics. Outside of that, environmental studies is increasingly popular, international relations, as well as our language studies here. Also not listed on this page is our track for pre-health sciences. So any student who may be interested in something a little bit more STEM oriented, that is also another opportunity for students to take a track that is a little bit more aligned to those interests. Now, of course, location is going to be an important part of your Franklin experience. We are located in the Italian Southern speaking region of Switzerland in the city of Lugano. So if you take a look at that bottom left-hand side of your screen, you will see that the city of Lugano is located in the canton of Ticino. And you can see the canton here is highlighted in yellow. And you can think of each canton in Switzerland similar to states in the US. Now, the city of Lugano is not an overly large city. It's about 64,000 residents, but even so, it is still the third largest financial district in the country. So lots of big banks and businesses housed right there in the city center of Lugano. Now, when students are traveling to campus, typically they'll fly into either the Milan Malpensa airport or they'll fly into Zurich in the northern part of the country. If a student is flying into Zurich, it's about a 2.5-hour train ride south into the city of Lugano, or if a student is flying into Italy, it's about a 50-minute drive up into the city. Now, because we are so close to that Italian border, when you step foot off of campus, the first language you will encounter is Italian, but that also means that you have great access to some Italian culture. You have some great food, some pasta, pizza, gelato, you name it, you'll find it there in Lugano. Sometimes students ask if there's much of a language barrier in the city of Lugano, and I would say that there isn't. Most residents do speak 2 to 3 languages, including English, so there isn't much of a language barrier there. All of our courses at Franklin are going to be taught in English, but we do require that all students complete a minimum of 3 years of language in either Italian, German, or French, one of the languages spoken in Switzerland. We highly encourage students to get involved with the local community and really make an effort to learn some of the languages and culture and customs there in Lugano. I want to take a moment to also show you around different parts of the city. At the very top here, we have the Piazza della Reforma. In the Piazza, you can see here on the left-hand side in the yellow building, we have the City Hall. We also have lots of cafes and bistros lining the piazza. On the weekends, this really does become a central hub for farmers markets, car shows, jazz concerts, you name it, you'll find it here in the piazza. The great thing about this city center is that it's only about a 25-minute walk from campus, so not too far at all. So you'll find lots of students here during the weekends hanging out and spending time in the city center. In the middle of the page, you'll also see another aerial view of the city of Lugano. As you can see here, we have part of Lake Lugano showing. When the weather's nice, it's really wonderful to be able to spend some time on the water, either rowing or sailing. So that's great if that's something that you enjoy doing. Right over here, we have one of our more popular shopping department stores, Manor, and you can also do some great grocery shopping there as well, also located in the city center. And on the bottom of the page here, you can see a funicular that we have in the city, and we actually have quite a few funiculars around town. As you can see in the geography of the city, there's quite a few hilltops in the area of Lugano, so you'll find these funiculars to take you to the very top. Sometimes you'll find a cafe or bistro at the top of those hilltops, which is really nice to be able to go on a nice day, get a great view, grab some lunch, and sometimes you'll even find some hiking trails on these hills as well, so you can take the funicular up and hike down, or vice versa. We also have here the Catedral de San Lorenzo. This is a Roman Catholic cathedral that was completed in the year 1517, so it has been around for quite some time. This is actually the view that you're greeted with once you get off of the main train station in Lugano, so it is not a bad view. It's really quite beautiful. You'll also see here in the photo that there is another funicular running down towards the city center and into the waterfront. It is about, like I said, a 25-30 minute walk from campus down to the city center, which is a wonderful, beautiful walk down there. But if you are doing any shopping, it's really nice to have that funicular to take you back up to that main train station. We also have the LAC that was completed in the year 2015. It is an art and culture center, it's a Lugano Art and Culture Center, and it is dedicated to music and performing arts. So really another central hub for students to spend some time here at the LAC, and it's right on the waterfront for Lake Lugano as well. So you get some really, really beautiful views here from this building as well. Nearby, we also have the Locarno Film Festival that takes place every single year. It is a very important film festival in Switzerland. It takes place in August for about 11 days and has a 73-year history. As you can see here in the piazza, they fill up, so it's really wonderful for students to be able to partake in these film screenings for this film festival every year. So it's definitely something you don't want to miss. Now, because of our location, it's not uncommon for students to take anywhere between 2 to 3 weekend trips a month to neighboring countries and cities. That's one of the great perks of being in Europe is easy travel. So if you are, taking a class in art history, we find that independent travel really helps students in their academics. So if you decide you want to go to Paris, go to the Louvre, see some of those art pieces firsthand, we find that when students come back to the classrooms, they have that firsthand experience, and it really does help with their academics. So it is something that is encouraged at Franklin to do independent travel, but we have also incorporated travel into our curriculum as well, and that is through our academic travel program. That means that you're able to take an academic travel course every single semester that you're with us at Franklin. We do require that you complete a minimum of 4 semesters of academic travel, but up to 8 are included with your tuition. That means that you are able to take these courses that are all faculty designed and faculty led. They are 3 credit-bearing courses, just like any other class that you would take at Franklin, and they're non-major specific. So for instance, if you are a business major at Franklin, but one semester you decide you want to take an environmental studies course, you're able to do so. You would then take a 2-week break in the middle of the semester with your professor and your peers, and you would travel to Iceland to study environmental studies. The great thing about this is that it's already included in your tuition, so you don't pay additional for flights, transportation, meals, or activities. Here are some examples of academic travel courses that have been available to students in the past. Some of these are going to be much closer to Switzerland or in Switzerland, such as studying alpine ecosystems in the country of Switzerland. Maybe you'll go and study financial accounting in Spain. Sometimes you are going to require a much longer travel haul, such as studying sustainable economic development in Bhutan and India, or maybe studying the history of Japan in Japan. Now, student life is also going to be a big part of your experience at Franklin. We do have lots of clubs and organizations available for students. Typically, students will be involved with about 2 to 3 activities per semester. Because of our size, we don't have any organized team sports, but we do have club and intramural sports available for students. If you are interested in competing in a sport on a more competitive level, you may be able to do so through our PASS program, and that stands for our Prep Academy Sports System. That means that you are allowed to try out for a local Lugano team, and then you would be able to compete with other regional teams in the area, which is nice to get best of both worlds, being able to still have that small school size with a more competitive athletic extracurricular activity. If you are just looking to stay active around campus, we do have lots of great wellness courses, and we also have a lot of different recreational activities that we'll put on for students. Some of those may include e-bike excursions, rowing and sailing on the lake, hikes, as well as skiing and snowboarding in the Swiss Alps. So lots of great ways to stay active. We also do some local excursions, and this is a great way to really get to know your backyard, so to speak. In Lugano, that may mean going to a local chocolate factory or a museum, just to get to know Lugano. As for our residence halls, we do require that all first-year students live on campus. You can choose from a single, double, or a triple. We have 8 different residence halls to choose from, and they're all very quite spacious, especially compared to US standards. Typically, once you've selected that single, double, or triple, you'll still have a common area or a living room to share with your roommates. Usually, you're not sharing a restroom with more than 2 or 3 other people, and you'll usually have some kind of outdoor space, whether that's picnic tables outside your residence hall or maybe a balcony as well. As for dining, we do have 2 main dining halls on campus. We do accommodate for any dietary restrictions. So if you are vegetarian, vegan, celiac, we can accommodate for those on campus. Just like housing, we do require that students partake in a full meal plan during their first year. If you love to cook, that's great. You can do so in your residence halls, as many of them do have kitchens or kitchenettes available, but you won't be able to reduce that meal plan until your second year at Franklin. We do have a virtual campus tour available for you to check out on our website, so I would highly recommend doing so. It's going to give you a great opportunity to see the layout of the campus, as well as be able to check out some of our residence halls online. Now, in terms of our programs of study, we do have quite a few to choose from. Of course, our more popular option is going to be that 4-year bachelor degree program. A student comes in as a first year, graduates within 4 years with a Bachelor of Arts. We also have an expedited 3-year program that's available for students. So if you are currently taking any AP, IB college level courses, you're able to potentially get academic credit for those and graduate within 3 years instead of 4. We also have a 3+1 graduate degree program where you would come in with those credits under your belt. You're able to graduate within those 3 years for your BA and do a 1-year master's with us at Franklin, graduating within 4 years with a master's degree. We also have a wonderful partnership with Emerson College based in Boston, Massachusetts, and that includes a 3+1 program similar to the one I just mentioned. 3 years with us at Franklin, a 1-year master's over with Emerson, earning a master's within 4 years. We also have a 2+2 program where you would spend your first 2 years with us at Franklin, your following 2 years over at Emerson, earning a degree in international political communications, and that will be a bachelor's degree. If you are interested in joining us at Franklin, but maybe not for a full 4 years, you can partake in a study abroad opportunity. You may be able to do so with spending a semester or a year abroad with us. And then we also have some visiting student programs where if you are in high school and you're thinking about taking a gap year, you're just not sure what you want to do, you may be able to take that gap year with us at Franklin and start earning some of those academic credits. And we also have some summer programs. So if you are interested in joining us at Franklin, but maybe we don't have the exact academic program you're looking for, or you're not able to fit in a traditional study abroad semester or a year into your schedule, a summer program may be a great alternative. Now, in terms of our application, we are on the common application. So if you are applying to other common application schools, it makes it nice and easy to apply to us as well. We also have our application directly on our website. You can choose either or, as long as you don't apply to both. With your application, we are going to require application to be submitted, a personal statement, and a Franklin-specific essay. This will be a supplemental essay that you will find in the application. We're also going to require official high school transcripts to be included, as well as one letter of recommendation. You can submit up to 3, but we ask that you do not submit more than 3 letters of recommendation. And test scores are optional. So if you are planning to take the ACT or SAT and would like to submit that as part of your application process, you're able to do so. If you choose not to submit those test scores, that's also fine. It's not going to hurt your application in any way, shape, or form. Now, in terms of cost of attendance, there are kind of 3 different categories a student can fall under. First and foremost is going to be our students who are US and Canadian students. So you would be billed in US dollars, and you can see the cost here per semester. If you do hold a Swiss dual citizenship or an EU passport of any kind, you would be automatically billed for this lower tuition rate, which is billed in Swiss francs. And lastly, for any students who do not fall into either of these categories, would be billed as an international student, also in Swiss francs. Now, in terms of funding your education, students are able to qualify for both need-based aid as well as merit-based aid. So you can fill out the FAFSA application and earn some financial aid package through that. And also through your application, once you submit it, we are automatically going to consider you for merit-based scholarships. And you would not need to submit any additional information or an application. And students can earn upwards to about $22,000 in merit-based scholarships. Next is that EU discount that I mentioned. So if you do hold a Swiss dual citizenship or an EU passport, you're automatically eligible to qualify for that EU discount. And lastly is going to be our lifelong learning scholarship, which is going to work similar to work study on campus, where you can pick up a job either working with a professor or maybe working in the admission office or the library to earn a little bit of extra cash, either for independent travel or grocery shopping or just going out on the town during the semester. So that is all the information I have on my end. Please feel free to utilize that Q&A chat box if you do have any additional questions. We also have our contact information here listed on this page. So again, my name is Jessica Silva. I am based on the West Coast, so feel free to jot down that email. We have Harry Herbert in Central United States and Katie Carter on the East Coast, just to keep that in mind for time zones. And if you do have any questions, please feel free. I'll hang out here for another few minutes. If not, thank you so much for joining today. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening.